Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to dive deeper into communication and tone of voice. If you're new here, then hello and welcome. Please subscribe and join us. I make videos regularly on branding, visuals and social media marketing. I also have some courses available. 20 steps to build an awesome brand foundation, takes you through, gives you tasks, examples, blah. And also a social media release campaign for anyone releasing new music and wanting to promote it on socials. So please check those out. They're linked in the comments and the description. Okay, let's dive right in. Okay, so obviously, as I always say, everything that you do within your brand has to be consistent and authentic. And this goes without saying for your communication style as well. So your communication and your tone of voice is going to come through in a multitude of places. It's going to be apparent on your website, in your biography. It is going to come through in your social media captions, how you talk to fans on and offline, how you talk to fans on stage. All this comes under your communication style, and it has to be consistent across the board. So just comment below with how you communicate. If there's something that comes to mind, do you use slang? Do you use the same emoji all the time? Do you swear? Like if there's anything that you think, oh, my communication style is like this, then let me know below. So how you want to do this is, again, obviously it comes from how you communicate authentically, but you can then be intentional with that and just have a little guide in place for consistency. You also want to consider your audience. Are they older? Are they kids? In which case, swearing probably isn't going to fit those. Just make sure that the way you're communicating fits your audience and is aligned with their kind of values and stuff. And language. If English isn't your native language, which language are you going to communicate in? You need to be consistent. It's okay if you use both, like English and your native language. Like on social media captions, I've seen that where they have the translation underneath. That's fine, but be consistent with it so your audience knows that, oh, they speak English to reach obviously an international audience, but this is their native language and that's obviously a part of their identity. That's fine. That's the kind of decisions you need to make. Also, how formal are you going to be? Are you going to use slang? Are you going to use, official language, whatever that is? Are you going to use emojis? Are there certain phrases that you're going to use that are going to become kind of signature for you? Ways that you say introduce yourself or greet your audience that becomes kind of recognizable. Lots to think about. There's also how your communication looks, how your social media captions look. So the visual element of the communication. Now I'm going to give you two examples. So one is the 1975. They've created this way of doing announcements where they use the dash and it's all the letters are spaced, they're all capitals. But when you're scrolling, that is really, really easy to recognize and really easy to spot. And every element of your visual brand or your brand as a whole is becoming more familiar to people and more easy to recognize. So that's just another little way. It's a small thing really, but it's so effective. And if you can figure out a way to do your captions that is fun for you and you're like, oh yeah, I really like that, be consistent with it, then your fans and your audience will start to recognize that as well and be able to jump on any post that they see that's you because they know that that's how you do captions. So this other one is just a local band, and you can see their brand color is yellow. They use the yellow emojis. Their spacing is really nice, really clear, really easy to read. And again, when you're scrolling and you see this spaced caption with these yellow emojis, I know it's them instantly. So there's there are two different examples there, but just have a think about how you can create something unique for you. Have a play with spacing. Uppercase, lowercase, punctuation, emojis, paragraphing. Just play with all those things and see if you can create a way of doing captions that is unique to you and that will be easy to recognize for your audience. Yes, you want to really consider your audience, and this is obviously their age, their location, their language. If you're really big in a country that has obviously their own language and doesn't speak much English, then you need to consider that. Or if you're targeting real local, your home country, there's just some decisions to make in that regard. So really dig deep into your audience profile. If you haven't done an audience profile yet, this is why that kind of thing helps. And it helps to do it at the beginning, because then you have decisions like this, which you can be like, oh, well, our audience is America, the UK and Australia, so we need to speak in English all the time, or something like that, just an example. And then are you going to have a hashtag for your fan base as well? A lot of bands, and I think I just missed this when I was a kid, a lot of bands will have a name for their fan base, and then obviously you can hashtag that and get people to join. That's all part of your communication. It's all a part of how you talk to your audience and build a community. So consider a name for your audience and using that on a consistent basis as well. And then you need to look at how your communication translates to in person. So when you're talking to people, networking, or talking to fans after a gig, or when you're actually on stage. Like if you're on stage, if your communication style is quite intellectual, very wordy, very descriptive, long captions on socials, that kind of thing, how does that translate to the kind of environment you want to portray at your live shows, or you want to create at your live shows? Does it match? If you want really high energy live shows, then that style of communication kind of conflicts a little bit. So just make sure, and again, this is why, so the course I have on my web shop allows you to, it pushes you to dig deep into all these areas that make then these decisions easier. So including like that kind of environment you want to create. And if you can get all this stuff down, then it makes all the other decisions going forward much easier because you know where you're at. So yeah, just consider your communication style and how that either complements or conflicts the kind of environment you want to create at your live shows. And again, with your audience, consider that relationship as well and just check that there's alignment there. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Dig deep into your communication, your tone of voice, and see what you can come up with. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Check out my courses, and I will see you next time. Bye!